Coming at you from the table down here.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Man's got a stink eye, and I'm catching it.
The shaky table.
Coming across is the big man, the one and only, my co-host at AH Foley.
Hey, gang, good to be here.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks for being. I'm glad we were able to get these schedules done after to get you here.
I appreciate it. I have a lot going on.
Yeah, nose job on the numbers there. Yikes, big man, you look like you're in a Puffs Plus commercial.
I don't think it's crazy to worry that I might lose my nose, though.
I would say that's crazy.
That's how this shit starts.
Sure.
Well, somebody's going to think I'm back on the junk.
That's immediately was my first thought because you came. I was like half a block away. You nodded. You're like, it's a CPAP machine. I'm like, that's drug-seeking behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, Toby McMullen over there.
Hello.
What up, T-Bone?
Chilling. Great.
Okay. Didn't answer the question. What's up, chilling?
That's talking about a guy that has drugs on him. Huh?
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, between you two. I was sniffing out the junk. So what is going on with
you
the
look like
nose?
you've been doing lines off of concrete.
Dude, it hurts so bad.
You're slowly morphing into Artie Lang, by the way. I don't know if you know that. You're gonna be the noseless horseman in a couple of weeks.
Let me take you back to 6-7 years ago. So I get cold sores. I get them bad.
I hate the way you say it. So cold sores.
Cold sores.
You don't hit the D.
Coal.
Cold
Yeah,
sore.
coal.
Get cold sore.
Get it from the mines.
Get cold sore.
I get them, and sometimes I think I get them in my nose, but they're not. They're different. So dermatologist told me that a long time ago, and then when I was waiting tables at Devon, I had one on my neck that I was for sure was a fucking herpes sore. And I went and had it looked at, and he was like, no, it's just an infection, something, your pores get infected in like a weird way. So when I was sick last week, I was sleeping the one night I slept for like 14 hours.
But this just developed today. I saw you yesterday or 2 days ago, and it wasn't.
No,
there.
it was coming in. It was already coming in.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, because I feel it when it comes in. It wasn't as red, and now it's just completely blown up. So my CPAP thing is like a little square that goes over my nose, and it has a little plastic flap that if I lay on my pillow, it kind of rubs up against my nose.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was rubbing, and lately for some reason my CPAP
gave me the chills thinking of how that thing smells, dude. Literally just shook me to the core.
I just washed it last night.
Post-infection. Good thing.
I want to get reinfected.
I don't want my infection to catch an infection. Got to keep clean gear.
Doesn't have health care. So I think it was rubbing against my nose, and then for some moisture was building up inside the mask because I'd wake up and like my nose would be wet. I don't know. It's something fucked up. I'm going to the dermatologist tomorrow to look at it. But if it was a cold sore, I had a Breva on it since Saturday. And
that might just be making it mad. I did that with a rash on my willy one summer. Yikes. She fought back. I was using like cortisone cream, and I should have been something. Man,
I did cortisone, Neosporin, and I did fucking Abreva, and none of it has worked.
It's gonna turn into mustard gas, dude.
Yeah, something. It hurts so fucking bad.
Oh God.
And I can't pick.
You better hope. What if that doesn't square up by the big shows this weekend at the Gramercy goddamn theater?
I'll make up it up. I'll put some makeup on.
What if the nose falls off by then? You go out with the glasses with the nose on. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, I'm sure it's some type of infection. Hopefully, an antibiotic will clear it up. A little bit
of a rash or something.
Yeah,
a little wear and tear.
Which I could use a run of antibiotics just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
we were always big on that.
Flush you up.
Yeah,
get the amoxicillin.
Yeah, we usually had Z-Packs in the house when I was a kid. Yeah. Patty would just have them laying around. Favors she would do for the doctors.
Sure, over to pants and jobs. I'm listening.
Dirty bird.
Isn't that what they give soldiers and shit?
What?
Z-Packs? Don't they give them like soldiers and
whatnot? Z-Packs, it's
MRIs.
No, MREs.
Oh, yeah.
MRIs. All right, everybody in the tube. What? Yeah, no, MRE. Meal ready.
Meal ready to eat.
Meal ready to eat.
Which somebody recommended we should get a few of them and try them out.
Sure.
I'd be open to.
All right, can opener cooking. I got 2 treat things I want to get into here.
What do you got?
It's like, it's like the age-old tale of like, somebody has a little bit of power and they just gotta be dicks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just fucking hate it. The other day, nice day out there. Let's call it. Was this week probably like Monday or something?
Can I say this?
What are you saying?
Non-judgmental.
Uh-huh.
You've been moving around a little bit. You had a couple of dinners last week. You're out, the bird.
Sure.
You're here, you're there.
Uh-huh.
You're tripping the lights fantastic a little bit.
A little bit, we try to live a nice.
A lot of bone marrow in the last 7 days.
It was
for
one
you.
day. You keep bringing it up.
Mhm.
No, we try to for like whatever, like, we had my stepdad's funeral, and then we got back and I stopped boozing. So like she was like, "Oh, let's go out to dinner," and I just was like, "Nah, it's keeping it real tight at the house, fucking counting the calories, the whole 9 yards." And so I didn't want to put myself in the position of like, let's go out to eat, because I go out to eat, I don't have control.
I think I'm over 2 weeks with no booze. It wasn't last Saturday, because remember I put it on the card?
Yeah.
I think that was 2 weeks ago. Not
Okay.
this Saturday, not last Saturday, but the Saturday before,
Okay.
I think.
Okay. And that was the last time you drank?
Yeah.
Okay.
No booze.
Huh. That's good for you.
Yeah.
I'm slowly letting it back into my lifestyle a wee bit, but I didn't want to do that. So, we have been doing some stuff, just dinner, went and saw a movie, dinner in a neighborhood, that type of thing. Just being out and about a little bit, trying to live a life.
I got you.
And but the other day it was nice out. One day, maybe about it was probably like last Thursday or Friday. Nice day. And we live up there in Washington Heights, and you can go down by the water. There's like a bike path that runs from up by me all the way down the West Side Highway to south,
Right.
the end of the island.
Big drug sting up there last week. I don't know.
I
if you knew
saw
about
that in a barber shop. People were fucking hitting me up. I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
They got a whole RICO thing going. The
Mhm.
barbershop had some illegal gambling going on downstairs.
Yeah, most of them do.
And there was the place next door was selling methamphetamine, I believe.
Yeah, it wasn't now and later. It's okay.
Shout out
Dude,
to a now and later.
there's
though.
a couple-
now and later guy growing up.
Too hard.
Oh,
I maybe once a year I would dabble. When I dabbled, they were good, but it was like it's not something you can fucking. It's not like a Snickers.
I remember when you were all porked up and poor. You were a big Mambas man. You'd grab
No,
yeah,
you're
you
wrong.
would.
No,
You would grab a pack of Mambas.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
This is
I-
crazy.
Dude, I've never bought a pack of Mambas in my
Oh
life.
my God.
Who do you think's writing this?
Dude, I know.
Dude, you did. No.
You would get a pack of Mambas at the subway downstairs, and you would crush them.
You're wrong.
Who
You're-
was it then?
You probably.
No, listen.
No, you're so wrong.
I'm on the board.
You're so wrong.
You used to like Mambas,
Dude, I've never bought a Mamba in my life.
Toby.
I don't know, man. I wasn't there.
I've done
This
the Samba.
is crazy.
Yeah, no, never.
I'm not moving an inch till you admit.
Mamba number 5. No, listen, I wasn't porky at the time. I was trim, and I would do high chews.
No, this is before high chews even got over here.
I'm telling you, dude. I've never eaten a Mamba. I probably had one. My lady likes them from now. From
Mambas or high chews?
Mambas.
She does.
From time to time.
The Mamba. I've never heard of it. It looks
Really?
like a high chew.
You're mixing it up.
It's a soft now and later.
I was a high chew man. Which, listen, for the homie out there, if you're not if you haven't. Ever
Might be
had
the
a
best
high
candy
chew.
on the market.
If you have the means, pick one up.
Well, they're
It's
not
so
everywhere.
choice.
You got to have a connect.
Yeah.
They're big in New York. Probably most cities probably have them.
Yeah.
They're a Chinese or a Japanese.
Japanese.
Japanese now and later.
Japanese know their way around a piece of candy.
Dude, it's like
Those matcha Kit Kats.
it feels like health candy, but in a
They're
good
all
way.
right. You know what's pretty good too? Pocky. You ever have Pocky? Little sticks.
I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I
love
don't
them.
trust it.
Why?
I don't like the packaging. It seems like too much of it. It seems like Pringles or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm not fucking with it. Give me something wrapped up in a bar, okay? Keep your weird fucking twiddle sticks to yourself. This is goddamn America.
I like them.
No, I never liked Mambas.
All
It was
right.
high chews. You don't believe me, do you? This is crazy. I don't know how else. To convince you.
I vividly remember sharing Mambas with you.
No, you don't.
Oh, I know who it might have been.
Who was it?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, no, I would have never spent $1. If I was going candy, I go Snickers bar.
Yeah, you like
If you're hungry, why wait? That's what I say.
That's true.
When you said you don't want to say it, makes it sound like you were getting paid by a detective for snitching.
Officer,
Those papers are sealed. They said that was expunged.
need a grand jury. You want to fucking get that out of me?
Yeah, no. I was a high chews man in my trimmer days.
Mm-hmm.
When I would lose the weight, I would love the good fucking high chew.
Okay.
But anywho, nice day out last week. Neither here nor there. And me and abroad, we live up there, Washington Heights. Like I said, you go down to the water. They have it's beautiful. It's right at the foot of the George Washington Bridge.
Sure.
There's a lighthouse up there. It's like Manhattan's oldest lighthouse, still banging, a whole 9 yards. They got tennis courts.
What do they do, by the way?
What?
Lighthouse. Let you know where land is?
Yeah.
That's it?
I mean, there's like a communication thing of like, yeah. So on like foggy nights and shit,
Uh-huh.
you know the bridge is coming up, or there's they indicate something.
Okay. Indicate that you're a liar and you like Mambas.
I don't think they're used that much anymore. Like now that there's like
There's
sonar and shit.
Fully, I think you're right. We got to do a hair follicle test on Kippy.
I'd-
See if you got any Mambas in the system.
Dude,
I know you've bought in a pack of Mambas in the subway before. That's all I'm going to say.
that's never happened. I don't know what to tell you, dude. First of all,
They were the sour ones, too, because I remember you
now I know
commenting
you're
on them.
lying. I don't like sour candy.
I'm telling you.
Dude, this is so frustrating because, I mean, you know so much about me. What would it take for me to buy sour Mambas in this underground?
You're a
nuts.
fat kid and you're broke, and they were only $1.
No,
I used to love the candy down in the subway. They still do it?
I don't know.
T-Bone?
I haven't seen anyone selling.
No,
Mostly,
they usually have the little huts, and a lot of them. Remember how hot they would be?
Ugh.
You'd go in there to get like a cold water. It'd be like 212 degrees.
the last one I saw,
Nick T.
it had like it was all boarded up, and it had the magazines from when it closed. They're all
No,
dusty.
they were from pre-closed.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It was like an Us Weekly from like 2019.
Angelina Jolie never
Yeah.
looked so good.
They put those in there when they first opened up the stand,
And that was
then
it.
threw the key away because
Yeah.
they could never rechange those things.
I would do Mambas, probably a Snickies or a Milky Way, and like some Twizzies or something like that. Something to occupy me on the train.
and a medium popcorn.
You get these pretzel nuggets, eat it up.
I do a churros every once in a while,
No,
too.
I only ever did
The broad was cute.
I saw a churro lady sleeping. Text you her back. I was like, slow day, huh?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had pretty good churros in my life.
I'm sure.
And those down there are all right.
Yeah.
They hassle them, too. What I don't fuck with is the ladies that cut up the mango.
Mm-mm.
That'll get you sick.
Oh yeah. That ain't up to refrigeration standards.
Jam you up.
Um,
Too sweet.
but yeah, no, I only ever would get food in the subway when I was real trim, and it would be Diet Coke and like cashews or the Bazzinis.
Because that's what we
They
found.
rock
the
the
Bazzinis,
Bazzinis,
yeah.
But that being said, so we go down. I don't like going to the dog park because it's just like the dogs fight. It's like vicious. It gets like wacky, right?
Yeah.
And like that's just also how they play. They fucking, they just fucking grab it, and then some get crazy, and it's like my dog's getting beat up, my dog's beating your dog, like whatever happens. It's just real fucking wonky. It's too much anxiety for me.
Where do you run them?
She takes them like every day for the most part
To the dog
to
park.
the dog park. Or I'll walk down. To
He's off the lease in there,
Yeah,
running
yeah,
around.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. You worry about the other dogs.
Yeah, but I mean he's no fucking band leader.
He can handle
all
it.
right? Holy, the way he goes after it. Should see him with some Mambas. But we get down to the tennis court, having a good old day, just a nice fucking beautiful New York day. It's about 50 or whatever, real nice. Down there, you got the bird. We're just like throwing the ball. He's having a good old hoot and holler. There's other dogs and they're like running on the fence and stuff. They're just it's beautiful. The jacket's off. I'm in just a fucking hoodie. Got the sun, tugboats going by, the bridge, beautiful view of the Palisades, the whole 9 yards. And a fucking park ranger comes up. And just like
You're in the tennis courts?
yeah,
All
which is
right.
a no-go.
Why?
You're not allowed to have dogs in a tennis court.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I know that, but it's also like, hey, guy, there was a fucking, there was dudes shooting heroin in here before we got here. It's not like I'm not sneaking into Wimbledon and having them fucking take a deuce on a baseline.
Sure.
It's like we're in a fucking public park. That people do this all the time, by the way. Like most days we go down there, there's somebody in there with a dog. There's like, let's call it 5 tennis courts. We were in 1. There was people playing in 2, so there was like 2 empty ones.
Okay.
If tennis players came and were like, "Hey, I want to play," I'd be like, "Yeah, of course, my bad." Like,
Yeah.
just a fucking empty tennis court in the winter.
Get next.
Watch the spin on a dog. So this park ranger pulls up, and now at this point we were already wrapping up. Like we were like getting his leash and just getting like our shit together. And he goes, it's just like the fucking attitude people have. He's like, no, he goes, no dogs here. And you're like, yeah, sorry, we're leaving right now. And he goes, is this a tennis court? And I have like my back to him because I'm like walking to get my jacket that's like over on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And Nadine, I guess was just like confused as to like, what do you ask? Like, she didn't think he was coming with attitude. She was like, am I missing something? Like in my second language? Like, yeah. So she's like, what? He's like, this is a tennis court, right? And he's like, yeah, dogs don't belong on tennis courts. And I'm like, yeah, man, she's like, yeah, we're leaving. And he goes, yeah, there's a sign, no dogs on tennis. And this guy's in his fucking like park ranger truck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now I go, all right, I'll let 1 or 2 comments slide, but like, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck if you're the mayor. Like, so I'm like, yeah, man, we're leaving. But it's also like, he says this to her, like, it's like, my biggest thing is that you're getting tough with a fucking, with a woman. Like, that's who you're flexing on.